you look down, you're gonna fall, you're gonna have a bad time.
Warning, the following audio has a lot of cursing.
So we've covered how we feel about certain things. I want to get into specifically how the rules are run, because we've mentioned bits of it. So first off, Rifleman, do you limit it to M4 or AK, or do you think that a G36 and like the Tavor and things like that are okay things to branch into, or do you think that because they're mag specific, maybe you should just stick to the M4 and AK platforms?
Well, I'm gonna dive into real world again. I do that too often. And that's like the FAMAS or the Tavor or the G36. Those families, that's all like foreign nations rifles. So for them, a rifleman runs a G36K or even the C for the Ricardian. You get the FAMAS in France, the Tavor for Israel, and same with the Galil. And you have all these different platforms. I think Singapore runs like some fancy AUG variant. Austria's got the AUG, the SCAR. There's so many different variants.
British using the brand?
No,
they're using
the L85. Yeah, the L85. The L85 series. It's a bullpup. Which I think has a lot. Yeah, someone just switched over to H&K. I forget who it was. I don't remember. Anyway, like all these foreign nations use different platforms to do the same thing. And that's gonna, when you start getting into that, that's when you're gonna start getting into fanboyism and oh my god, the G36 is so much better than the M4 because it's newer and recoils less and blah 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 blah. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good the system is. It matters how good the guy holding it is.
Yeah. And
that all comes down, especially with airsoft, we have a choice. If you're in the military, you don't have a choice. If you're a rifleman, you have an M4. Unless you're in the Marines, you get an M16A4. If you are in if you're support, if you're in a squad and you're the saw gunner, you get a saw. You don't get to choose.
You don't do the special forces where you can pop a drum mag on a 4.7.
Nothing.
Is it 417?
417 is 7.62.
Yeah, but the drum mags that goes on a
talking about the M27.
M27 IAR.
That's what the Marines use. They got rid of the saw for that. So that is now their support weapon.
Oh, that's their official one they chose.
It was originally going to be an open bolt platform, and now it's not. The H&K has made a bunch of changes. I think the Marines are probably regretting it at this point. It was really expensive, and now it's not even open bolt, which is you want an open bolt support weapon because they're higher rate of fire. And it'll eat.
No, we talked about this.
It'll eat.
The controversies I personally have when it comes to the airsoft versus reality.
Yes, which is we'll get into that.
Yeah,
but for riflemen, if you are a huge Russian fanboy, you love Russian kits like our friend Ethan here. You're gonna go with an AK. One of the AK families, like the 47 if you want to go old school, the 74 if you want to go more modern, even into like the AKM series and like the AK100 series.
101.
101, 103, 105, 107, 109. I mean, there's 111. I mean, there's tons
you get
of different.
Israel is the only country without an AK.
And they probably
design. Just because of who they're fighting.
And I mean, they're everywhere. They're not quite as adaptable as far as, aftermarket accessories as an M4, but they're near as enough the same for what you can do to them.
They're a little more accurate off the bat, I think.
Traditionally, they're overpowered and they have a longer barrel for their full cylinders, so traditionally their range is a little bit better. But they're heavier and bulkier.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, the 30-round mag on the AK is huge compared to the 30-round mag.
Oh, man, that thing is like a mile off the gun.
Yeah.
I keep trying to find the compact mag. They only make the freaking
Oh yeah, they don't make 20. They don't make the 20 round size
I know.
AK mags.
No, you got to get a Spetsnaz beta.
Yeah, and those are high caps, so they're just.
Yeah. So you can go with that family. You can obviously go M4 routes, and within the M4 route, you have different families. You got like the Mark 18s, the Daniel Defense style. You have the HK family, like the 416. And there's so many others. There's just so many variants. You got the
Starlight. You got the
you got the Scar. So you got the Starlight. You got the Scar Heavy. Both of them are technically rifleman's weapons. Now there's different variants of the Scar as well, such as the SV, which is the sniper variant. It's got a longer barrel, longer foregrip. Apparently that makes it a sniper rifle.
you can use it as the DMR.
Yeah, or you can even use a regular Scar Heavy as a marksman's rifle because they do in special forces too. They throw a little scout scope. They throw a 1 to 4, 1 to 6 power scout scope on it, and that rifle's effective out to 1,000 yards again because the round's only effective at that distance, and that rifle's new enough and modern enough where it can take advantage of that to full effect. So you throw a 4 or 6 power scope on it, like 1 to 4, 1 to 6. You can now effectively engage indoor as well as at longer distance. So it's just kind of finding what platform works for you. If you really like bullpups, and if you're not sure if you like bullpups, find someone that has one before you buy them.
Yeah.
You're either gonna like them or you're not. The reloads are kind of awkward until you really get used to them. They're not as fast. You can reload an AK, I think, faster than you can reload a bullpup. They're a little bulkier, as far as like when you're holding them, they feel wider, but they're also more compact. Because of bullpup, everything's in the back. So your barrel length is as long as an AK, but it's shorter than an M4.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of really cool advantages, but for airsoft, you get a lot of disadvantages, such as working on it. Working on the Tavor, the Ares one, I believe. Actually, any of them. I think the Ares one is the better one, if I remember correctly. Working on any of them is always a nightmare. AUGs are better to work on, but they're still kind of a pain. It's just the way that bullpups are designed. Even real world bullpups, I like them. They're really cool. They have their own list of issues, such as, the firing mechanism. It's your triggers up front and all the mechanisms are in the back. So you got linkages running between them. It's like the linkages on a car. That stuff wears out. The longer it is and the more stress it's under, the faster it's going to wear out. So you have issues with the trigger mechanism. So it's just kind of finding your little niche. Kind of finding, hey, cool, I really like what Australia's using. I would like to get into that. Okay, Google. Wow, that's really cool. What do they make airsoft ones? Okay, cool. All these different companies make them. And you just kind of start finding what you want. Start playing with it. The bit of hesitancy I have is both kit and mag related. So AK mags, they're everywhere. Mag pouches,
not so common.
not so much.
No.
And the most common ones that are there are the Velcro top double ones, and I hate
They
those.
suck.
They're
a lot.
some people like them, some people love them, and they're good with them.
It
can't
takes
stand
just too long to get them out, and it's noisy. Like you get that Velcro, and
Honestly, I use them.
well, I mean,
Yeah,
on my SVD, I use that because that's pretty much the only SVD pouch you can get is Velcro. But
Now, like for M4, I run a
Yeah.
very simple $10 Condor Phantom Gear, open top bungee strap.
Yeah.
There's bungee retention. Neck pouches. They're
Work
cheap,
fine.
but it's airsoft and they work. If I get deployed, I'm spending a few $100 and getting tacos because I want something that I know is going to last, is well made, made in America, so I'm supporting the economy, as well as, if I get blown up by an IED, my truck gets blown up by an IED, I know my stuff's gonna be, not falling apart on me, so that when we bail out and we're getting actively engaged, my
Things
stuff's
are
not
gonna
just
need to
flopping
be.
all over the place.
Right.
I know that it's gonna be shredded, it's gonna be hurting, I'm gonna be hurting, but it will be there when I need it most.
But you don't have to worry about that in airsoft.
No, you don't have to roll that stuff. And even if you spend the 30, like one of our friends, Tucker, he bought like 4 tacos, like 3 or 4 tacos. He spent a ton of money. Makes a fair amount, so you can. I wouldn't for airsoft because it's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
I'll pay the $10 and get a Condor one and replace it every 4 or 5 years if necessary.
Yeah, we
the
mentioned
build quality on Condor is actually really.
you can
It's-
get
it's-
Condor makes 1,000 denier products.
Yeah.
They do.
mean,
And it's obviously not going to be as good as anything Cry or the tacos.
Of course not. But
Again,
it's only
Yeah.
a fraction of the cost.
Is it high
that's
speed gear?
HSGI
HSP.
and HSGI and no Blue Force.
Oh, Blue Force gear
Yeah,
makes.
Blue Force gear. They make stuff too. That's Blue. I really like Blue Force.
They
gear.
make the high speed quiet.
They make it's like it almost looks like a little sack.
Yeah,
It's like a
stretchy.
stretchy.
Yeah, stretchy
pouch.
for.
Those are really cool.
Yeah.
Tucker's got a couple of those on. I really like those, but those are very expensive because everything has to be so on them to actually allow the elasticity to retain its elasticityness. That's even the word, as well as its shape and not fall apart quickly and not overstretch quickly. So going back to where I was going with this, say you want to go with the SA50s, which is like the modern FAL series.
I got
Yeah, Sam's got one.
first gun.
Yes, it was very expensive first.
Yeah, $280 well spent.
Yeah, you don't even use it.
Is it even together? Like,
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. It just
it works. You need to fix the bolt on it.
yeah, but that's just a design flaw with cheap metals.
Yeah,
I could get replacement parts, but what? So I can break it again because it breaks.
I would just because it would bother me. But mags, they didn't make mid caps for that thing for a long time.
No,
And-
I had to wait a full year for them to come out. Still need to buy some if I ever want to take them to Milson.
And pouches. The pouches can be a little finicky. You can get away with using some of the SR25 and stuff.
Yeah, it will
M4s.
fit into a 7.62 Condor.
Okay.
Yep, it is not a issue at all.
But it's
M14 pouch too.
yeah. And finding that stuff's a little bit hard. It's not hard. E-bike carries it. And I'm not a big e-bike proponent anymore. But if you want equipment, as far as like for kit stuff, they have a lot, as well as Amped Airsoft.
Amazon's giving tons.
Amazon has a ton of
Amazon, Airsoft GI.
Airsoft's got a lot as well. eBay. I mean, it's
Yeah.
If one place doesn't have it, the others do. So it's just kind of finding what you want and then making sure that you can actually effectively, especially if you want to take this beyond just rec games and you want to take this into the milsim world, especially the realistic milsim world, such as I'll use realistic term very loosely, just like American Milsim, Milsim West. I'm not sure I'm missing one other.
No.
Third Coast is like the Third Coast is like what Line Claws
Third course.
could have been and should have been.
Yeah. Line Claws, what gives Line Claws a little bit of reputation is just how specific they have their. Okay, I'll say before they rebranded a little bit with the 3 teams with the Black Widow group. It was very specific Delta. It was very with black helmets, with Mad Max.
It was
And
never
then-
weapon specific.
No,
The
not-
weapons are never regulated. Neither was your kit.
Yeah.
For
Well,
Milsim West.
Milsim West is
That's
very, very specific.
Milsim West is for those of you that really you want as close to getting the real Army experience as possible without actually being in the Army and without actually shooting real guns at people or getting shot at.
Yeah, they have they use blank firing actual AKs and M4s just to add the realism of what noise you would actually have to deal with.
They're only used once or twice during that 24 48 hour period. It's not you're there to play yourself, so they're not going to make you run around with the AK with a BFA on the blank firing adapter.
No,
but they will give you that experience for one of the missions, so that you can, I've been up for now 28 hours, and I need to focus on my ammo count. I need to focus on my trigger control.
the gameplay doesn't.
Spoilers, it's not easy.
No,
it's not.
the gameplay doesn't stop. You sleep during gameplay, and you can get ambushed. So you need to set up Firewatch.
Yes.
Or you just be me and hide
That happened.
really well.
That happened on one of them, I'm sure. But they're very specific on kits, very specific on camo, very specific on weapons. If you're on NATO, you can't show up with an AK-74 and be like, yeah, well, I'm Special Forces.
Yeah.
I want to be Special Forces.
I'm the Navy
Oh,
SEALs.
right?
also,
They're
that's
not gonna
why
let
it's
you do
not
that.
on here. They don't allow HPA.
Really?
They do not allow HPA, not because of the players, the realism. They don't want to see a line coming off your gun into a tank.
Which
So
was my biggest.
So the most thing
complaint
you'll
about
probably get is to use a bolt action with HPA inside the stock, and that's probably about it. And I forgot about that. I was like, why is there no HPA on the Jules? Oh, because they don't allow it because they want to keep it as realistic as possible.
That is a very small niche of players that really appeals to. I am not one of them.
Yeah,
that's what I get paid to, so I'm not going to pay to do it. I highly recommend though that everybody goes and does it once if you can. It's actually cheaper than a Line Claws game, which is really sad.
Pretty much everything is cheaper than a
Line
Lions Claws
Everything's
game.
cheaper than Line Claws.
well, they get the premier locations. I mean, they rented out that last game. They did up the sanitarium or insane asylum hospital that they just played in
Ohio,
I believe so. That just happened a week ago.
Oh, really?
Or a couple weeks ago. It was around Irene, but it wasn't Irene.
There was a Line Claws.
Oh, it was a Line Claws. No, they were doing video of like doing EVP stuff to see how haunted it really is, and I think they found a couple things they didn't like.
Spooky.
But yeah, it takes a lot of money to rent those places, so I give them that. $180 a head for veteran players is a lot, but it's just like with MUTC when we could play there. When are you going to get that many chances to go to a National Guard?
That's a National Guard training facility. It's huge.
Yeah.
And as a civilian, how many people are going to have the opportunity to go do that?
Exactly.
But Nilsen West, that's a very small niche. I really recommend people go to try to go to one of those to see what it's really like. See what it's actually like to be up for 50 hours doing stuff.
Carrying around 30 to 50 pounds of gear on you.
In your full kit. Maybe getting an hour of sleep.
Do what the Marines do. Just drink 1,000,000 Rippets.
Yeah. I mean, and you gotta stay hydrated. You gotta keep eating, and you're carrying all that on you.
Mm-hmm. And your ammunition's limited.
The airsoft,
you have to go to reload stations.
The airsoft community is very pro-veteran and pro-military, and I love that. It's great. The Americas does not have enough of that. Lately.
All the money that's raised for wounded warriors.
Oh, yeah.
For special forces.
But I don't think that many of the airsoft community members actually understand or truly appreciate. They read about it in books and watch YouTube videos and read articles and go, but Australian special forces do the peel this way and this is better because they do this. But then British special forces do that and blah blah blah.
They do like
blah.
that Australian.
And
people.
everyone's a keyboard genius until you actually get out there and you do it and you've been doing it for 30 hours. You're still going to be able to do that well? Because those guys can.
Yeah.
So it really
gives you perspective.
It really gives you a perspective, and I'm not trying to say that, don't be so enthusiastic about it.
Yeah. Just give respect where respect is due.
Yeah, and it's not even that. Just
no, I mean, because everyone's like,
you guys know what I'm trying to say.
Like I mentioned with that sniper thing, and you just have no idea what you're talking about. And it's just embarrassing to all the people who know you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes.
Because what is it? Is it 1 or 3% of the population is in the military?
It's roughly 1% of the U.S. population is in the military, and 1% of the 1% of the military. 1% of the 1% that is the military is infantry. There are 250,000 of us infantrymen in the armed forces combined. I mean, everyone wants to be infantry. Everyone wants to be infantry. Everyone wants to be the guy with a gun and body armor kicking down doors and shooting Osama bin Laden in the face 1,000 times. That's what everyone wants to do.
Yeah.
But not everybody can. Some people they physically can't operate on little sleep. They can't handle the stress. They can't handle the capacity required of you physically or mentally. They can't handle they can't handle the sense of humor or the jokes or the vulgarity.
Oh man,
it's awful.
When Mark,
it's funny and I love it. It's like, okay, so I'm assuming most people watch Deadpool. Picture all the verbiage and adjectives he uses
in a normal conversation.
And then if
talking about the wife's kids.
Here's all you have to do. Go to Bubba's Facebook page.
Oh,
Watch any
jeez.
one of his videos.
That's
That's
what-
a normal conversation.
That's what it's like.
Imagine if he was trying to be vulgar.
I mean, it's not for everybody.
We're on the rifleman still when it comes to the. No, because we've been talking about it.
I'm long with it.
Well, no,
Not at all.
never.
I'm an officer. I can get away with it.
Yeah,
Making speeches is part of the job.
yeah.
They have to listen to me. They don't want to
And I should just get you a map now.
Use a map and a compass. Have fun.
Map and a
Sure.
Um.
Go fuck yourself. It's called the scenic route. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the scenic route every time gives me fucking poison ivy. Fuck you.
That's called the woods on an army base.
Not all those. Not all that wander are lost.
Fucking
Except for the
Origins.
lieutenant. He's lost.
You gave me poison ivy at Origins.
You know where that was?
And I think you gave it to me when we went to the Ohio game.
Yes, I'm literally bringing vials of a poison ivy plant and just smearing it all over your shit.
No, but I think you're learning what it looks like just to have rubbed my body through it.
Well,
Oh
that
my.
could be.
Outdoor airsoft, 400 FPS.
Pictures of dildos.
It's all tech picks and not mine.
400 FPS, 1.5 joules, clearly.
1.55.
Yeah.
To be super specific.
Yeah, don't. They make a lot of the stock guns come 350,
Between
You could-
350 and 420.
and a lot of them you pay the extra $10 for their model that goes up to the rifleman's 400, maybe 380 on a bad day for a gun. Ammunition wise, what would you guys say? Clearly go for a 2.8.
Talking about weight wise?
Yeah.
2.8. If you're running 400 feet per second and you have a decent enough pop-up unit and bucking, and barrel, 2.8 minimum, 0.3. I mean, I've slowly been increasing. I started with 2.5s. I started with 2.3s, actually.
Yeah,
And then after 6 months, tried some 2.5s, and that was a huge improvement.
Yeah.
Went up to 2.8. Not as big of an improvement as you would have thought, but still an improvement. And then recently, finally made the switch to 0.3s because I finally got an hop-up and barrel setup that worked okay. And that move to 0.3s was colossal. The move from 2.8 to 3 was bigger than 2.5 to 2.8. And I really, if you're running 5, run the heaviest BD that you can get away with, because your group is going to be tighter, your consistency is going to be better. To an extent, your range is going to be better, especially your effective range. Now, effective range is different than your actual range. So, like my rifle, I can hit someone probably 350 to 400 feet with my rifle if I aim up. But my effective range is around 200 to 220 feet.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, roughly. That's where I can bring the rifle up, with the person in the crosshairs, and press the trigger, and BBs are going to be landing on him or very near him.
yeah.
They're like 200,
Lobbing
220.
BBs isn't a good way to practice
No.
playing effectively
No.
because you're relying on so many ridiculous variables instead of just saying, "Oh, look, aim and shoot, and it's gone."
You want to set your hop up to where you want it, and then from there you adjust your sights.
Yeah.
So get your hop up. So if you put yourself 200 some feet away and you hold the rifle and you hold it straight and you press the trigger and you make hop up adjustments as necessary, then you dial your sight in, whether it be a red dot, a holographic, the scout scope, an actual scope, iron sights. Get the hop-up set where you want, bring the sights into line with where your hop-up set, and then start fine-tuning it. Then you can go, okay, well, if I'm this far away and the sight's like this, I really feel like I'm lobbing them in. How about if I adjust it this way and down the hop-up, or increase the hop-up and adjust the sights? You really start playing with it. Then you know, okay, cool. I'm effectively engaging someone 200 feet away, and they're really not lobbing that bad. They're shooting pretty straight, so that I know when I'm close range, I aim chest, like center chest area.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hitting in their chest all day long. It's either going to hit upper chest, middle chest, or their gut. And it's going to hit that range. And really at any range between, 0 and 200 feet, or whatever your max effective range is.
Yeah.
So I really recommend that, just the heaviest you can afford to get away with in your gun. So 400 feet per second, you have a good hop-up system, 0.3s. Even .32. If your system's good enough, you can get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
The heavier, the better.
For you, Ethan, do you because using heaviest BBs is the argument would then be the distance because you will lose just slight amount of distance. You can lose 10, potentially 20 feet potential based off versus a lighter BB, but at the same vein of that, in respect to accuracy, like he said, he'd prefer the most accurate shot in the world. Do you agree with this? Do you think the most accurate shot in the world is more valuable for you as a rifleman?
As a rifleman, I'd say...
or do you feel you should have you need that extra bit of distance going a little lighter? No wrong answer, really, because it's everyone's preference. Kyle's playstyle will be different than any one of you guys listening, because he knows what he can do and what he wants to be able to do. He can, if he loses that little bit of footage by using a heavier BB, he has the ability to move up because he knows where to take cover. He knows when to get out of cover, take the shot,
or just cheat him up a little bit. I can't say I didn't do that when we went to Irene because.
Oh yeah, but at the same time,
you're
so far away.
Well, I had switched Hopapias. You remember that? I switched the Lonex unit, and for whatever reason, that wheel sticks out further than the Crytek one does. And when I would close the mock bolt after making an optical adjustment, it would catch the wheel. And it would spin the wheel. And it would completely remove almost all of the hop I just made. Right. So I'd adjust it, and I'm shooting 200 feet all day long, 220 feet all day long. And I close that mock bolt, and all of a sudden my range is like 130, 150 feet. Because of BB, I'm using .28s, .3s, and they're just dropping. And I couldn't figure out why. So I had to, somehow I managed to take out a whole squad of like 7 dudes by myself. But I was aiming up, and I was just lobbing them into them as they were trying to climb up a wall to run into a building.
Yeah.
So I was just up and I dumped a whole 120 round G&P mag, 130 round G&P mag on to kill 7 dudes because I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was getting really frustrated.
No, that's why it was funny when we were doing Irene, and I was on top of the roof while you guys were on the platform.
And you overhop so you could shoot underneath a tree.
No, actually, I did that to get the far away. I did that to get the far away guys, but everybody. From at least the midway point of that building, distance-wise, there was a guy with an M14 next to me. Couldn't shoot anything.
That was 200 feet plus. That was a good
I'm doing this with a saw. A shorty saw, too, the Mark 46.
Which is where the better hop-up system you can get.
Which really shows just, if you fine-tune and pay attention to what your gun can do, you can do just fine.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, this is kind of what separates the DMR from the rifleman, because the DMR is always going to want that accuracy. They're always going to want to have that specialized BB. They're going to want that 3.6, that 4. And but with riflemen, in my opinion, accuracy is definitely important, but being compatible with the rest of your squad, because sometimes you gotta trade mags and you gotta grab a buddy's mag to keep going, and making sure that your guns are all working in sync with a similar BB weight.
Right.
That's pretty important too, because it keeps all of you combat effective at the same time, and you can get that move in as a force.
Ethan brings up a very good point. If you guys, we've done this already actually with our team, and we're actually still in the process of doing this
because of the plethora of options.
we're taking the winter months to really fine tune everything. Mm-hmm. But we recognized that as an issue at Arena 2015 was one of us was using like 3.2s, I was using 2.8s, the saw was using 2.5s. Mm-hmm. We're using a bunch of different ammo, and all but the saw were running the same type of mags. So we're having issues with, I'm having to adjust the hop up on the fly, which is not hard. You pull the bolt back, make the adjustment, and you're done. Yeah. But then when you're done, you have to switch back, and you have to. It just adds an inconvenience and the compatibility, like Ethan brought up. Oh, Ethan's out of ammo and he decided to run his M4 that day and not his AK. Well, he's out of ammo. I got 4 left. I'm tossing him 2. Now we're both at 2 mags. Cool, awesome. And we're both running the same ammo. So getting together with your friends and trying to get all of your guns up to the same performance level, as near the same performance level as possible in their goals, to allow that compatibility and that the adaptability of your team. So if there's one person running AKs, like I love my Star Heavy and I'd run a different part. But that adds to the compatibility issues where if I'm low on ammo,
You're at luck.
I'm out of the fight until I can pull my speed loader out and reload a couple of my magazines, and that's going to take a minute or two.
Right.
And that's a long time in a firefight. But if we're all running a 4-mag, hey, I need a 4-mag, one of them just skitters it across the floor. If I'm next to him, he smacks me with it, and I grab it and throw it in.
That's why it was so
3
much.
seconds later, I'm back in the fight.
Yeah, that's why it was so much easier when we both, me, you, and Tucker went to Battle Hack. We were all using the same BB weight.
Yeah, we were all using .3s.
Yeah. So it was just I ran out of ammo and Tucker throw me a couple mags.
Yeah, me and Tucker ended up giving you like half our mags.
Yeah.
So,
But I was killing it.
yeah, you had a great spot.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But, and that really adds to it, because if he would have run out of ammo, he was holding down a very key avenue of approach for the enemy. And if he would have gone down, whether, got killed or ran out of ammo, either way he's out of the fight. That's bad news bears for the rest of us.
Yeah.
So, being able to toss him a mag, here's a mag or two, keep killing him. It makes all the difference in the world.
And that's actually a good segue into this. If you converted over from using your high cap mag and switching over to mid caps, getting rid of the bitch buckets,
The bitch maracas.
the bitch maracas, and most of them are 120, 140 rounders. We've talked about it. 6 minimum, 1 in gun, 5 on you. Would you say is a good number?
Yeah, that's actually what I read traditionally, because I don't shoot a whole lot because I usually end up getting stuck as squad leader.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us force you to do that every time.
Thank you for my service.
Okay, Jordan.
You get Jordan on.
Yeah,
We do.
Once he's done with air school.
Yeah, it all depends on your play style. Like I'm usually stuck being in charge. So I don't shoot as much as everyone else because I'm right up there with them and I move with them. I'm usually leading them to where I want us to go or where they're told we need to go. But once we're there, I take a half step back so that I can focus on my radio and focus on the placement of my guys.
Yeah.
So I can make sure Sam is in the place I need him to be most. Yeah. He may be in a great spot for where he's at right now, but on a whole, he may be better suited over here. So I'll have to find out, okay, who can take his place so that I can move him here to fill in the gap that's already there, but then I have to fill in the gap that he's going to be making by leaving. And just kind of figuring out whose strengths and weaknesses play best for where they're at.
Yeah.
So I don't shoot as much as everyone else does. So I usually only have 6. Now, when I shoot a lot, and I make sure that I hit what I'm aiming at.
Yeah.
But yeah, depending on, there's some people that only run like 4 mags. That they got 3 on them on the front, and they got the one on the gun. And they might have like a mat pack or a little assault pack like what I've got, and they've got 3 more mags in there if necessary.
Yeah.
And those are guys that they move a lot, and they don't run in the middle of town and just start running guns blazing again, John Wick style, and just slaughtering everybody. They flank. They go in, they come behind, they shoot a bunch, and they kill a bunch of dudes. They get hit, they go back to respawn, refill their stuff, and then go out and do it again. And then there are guys that like to roll in heavy, and they'll take 10, 15 mags at a time, and they're all 120 rounds minimum. So that's a ton of ammo. I mean, you're looking at 1,300, like 12 to 1,500 rounds of ammo on that one person. It's a lot of ammo.
Yeah.
I mean, what did our old friend have? I think he had like 2,500 at one point, almost 3,000.
But they're 190s.
Yeah, he had 15 or 16 190 round magazines.
Yeah. So
He's looking at just under 3,000 rounds of ammo.
He basically just had body armor of ammo.
Yes.
As much as I had in one box mag.
Yes, and he never had issue. He never had an ammo issue because he just pulled out another mag.
Yeah.
Pulled out another mag. And it worked very well in some situations, but it's a lot of ammo.
For me, it would be overwhelming
bulky.
because I couldn't keep track.
Yeah.
Which magazine's empty?
Tucker carries more than the rest of us. I think Tucker carries 10. Which, that's a standard infantry
I
combat.
think I'm up to 8.
That's a standard infantry combat load. I can carry 6 on my person, so 1 with a gun plus 5 on me, and I got a little magazine insert in my assault pack, so I can carry 3 more with plunger retention. and then I can fill BBs, or I can just stuff a ton of magazines in there as well if necessary.
Yeah.
So
I know with my the SVD, I carry 8 magazines.
Yeah.
And
you're a pretty active marksman, though.
yes,
So,
I
you are
usually
firing a
like
lot.
mine's basically the place I was basically a hybrid between DMR and sniper. So
Yeah.
I move around a lot. Sometimes I'll plop down, sometimes I'll move.
Yeah, that's a very traditional marksman.
Right.
It's a hybrid between
Yeah.
a rifleman and a sniper. That's what it's meant to be.
Exactly.
You're a sniper that can maneuver.
I was actually curious about that. Because now you have an M4, but
Yeah.
originally you were just using AK.
Yeah.
What is your situation when you can? Did you use mid caps when we did indoor?
Yeah, I usually use mid caps, but I only ever used it on rec games. And during rec games, you don't need 6 magazines. You don't need 10, 15. You don't need that. You can run around with 3 magazines, and you're gonna have plenty of ammo for the game. Most games.
Run around with 1 or 2.
What's the
I don't
typical?
like games.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
If I don't feel like reloading magazines, I'll fill up one ICAP and roll with it.
I mean,
I don't care.
I don't usually sit in one place anyway, so I don't have to worry about loud noises because I'm heavy, so I clomp around anyway. Especially in that library. It didn't matter how heavy you were making loud noises in that library.
Yeah.
What's the typical mid-cap range for rounds?
It's 95 rounds for the SVD. Oh, and the AK is 100. It's about the same as that.
It's like 150. I think it's pretty
Average, yeah.
probably average.
Oh,
I think they
I was going
average
to say it's a
little
bigger
higher.
mag, so I would assume that they could fit more.
It's a little more than the M4s, but not much. Not enough to make a huge difference.
They both peaked out at 190.
Yeah.
But traditionally they're anywhere between 130 and 170.
Yeah.
I think the cat's dying.
No.
With all the crayons he's been eating.
No, he deserves it.
Yeah.
He's stupid.
Darwinism.
When it comes to the rifleman's role, I vote highly optional for a secondary. And I vote, even then, a single mag, not even an extra.
Yeah.
See, that's where.
I'd
And
say
it's personal preference.
Yeah, and that's where
But
I'm gonna
still-
disagree.
In general, secondary, firstly.
Yes, I think you should have a secondary.
Oh, you do vote for a secondary.
I do vote for a secondary.
Okay.
For Milsim specifically. If you're doing a rep game, they're fun because then you can just do the game where you borrow one of your buddy's handguns and you just run around all, Call of Duty or Resident Evil or whatever. You got 2 guns and you're not hitting anything.
You're just
So
going
you feel
nuts.
badass. You look great on video. You didn't do anything, but you look cool.
Yeah.
And you had fun. I mean, and that's what
That's
this
the
stuff is.
important.
It's for fun. For Milsim, I really would recommend a sidearm. Especially depending on your role, especially. But I really do think you should have a handgun on you. Sidearm, I guess you should say. For example, we had a situation at Homeland 2015, and I ended up being the only person to go in and clear this building that we knew there were bad guys in. That was awful. And somehow I managed to kill all the ones that were still alive. We threw a thunder beam. I hit the kid in the face because he wouldn't get out of the window when I threw it. I told him to move, he didn't, so I just hit him with it. And it killed him. Not really, but it got him. When it went off, it downed him. And it downed Mad Max as well because he ended up being. We counted him a lot.
Yeah, no, he's very active. That's what's great about these guys that run the events. They want to play. They want to move around. They don't want to sit and just micromanage basically an event on a radio.
Yeah.
It's boring.
They want to lead.
So I ended up slinging my rifle because my rifle's 4 feet per second, and I know that that's gonna hurt when I'm across the table from someone, which is where we're
It's a
sitting.
courtesy.
When we're sitting, it's a courtesy.
Yeah, don't be a dick. Why would you
want-
want to do something to somebody else?
I wouldn't
You
want
wouldn't
you,
want to have to do
and I'm going to treat it realistically. So when I roll in and I see a person, I'm drawing up and I'm firing 2, 3, 4 times on them because that's what I'm trained to do and it's what I would do in real life.
Yeah.
And I really like airsoft as a training tool, and I know that that's what I'm going to do, and I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. I had my handgun on me. I had my HK-45 K Ray. I love that thing. It's fun. And I had some point freezing. I need to get some 3 seconds for it.
Yeah, you can go really heavy with
with
BBs on
gas
gas
guns.
pistol.
Gas guns, you can go really.
I run 4s in that M9, and it's straight as an
Oh
arrow.
yeah. So
They're actually pretty crooked.
I slung my rifle and I drew my handgun, and I went through and I cleared it with my handgun, and I only had one mag for that at the time, and I really wish I would have had two, because I went in and the mags are $40 a piece, so that explains why I only had one at the time.
Yeah.
And I went in and when I killed 2 or 3 of them, shot Max. He wasn't too happy because he was standing right in front of a dude he was sitting in front of a dude that wasn't dead, and I shot him, and he was upset about that. But then 3 seconds later, he was like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah,
He's very angry, emotional, and it's cool because he treats it real. Yeah, he in the moment. And I apologized to him, and everything was fine.
I mean, I've been picked up by Guinness when I got down, like I was about to really die, and I was like, "Oh, okay, Guinness, we're into it."
Yeah.
And I was holding the saw too, so he picked up a 240-pound man with another 16-pound weapon.
That's that.
And just hauled them off.
That's that next special forces part of it.
No, it was awesome and terrifying at the same time.
So they're useful. You're not going to use it nearly as often as you think you will, but when you use it, you are going to be so damn glad that you had it.
No, absolutely. I'm the same way with my macro.
And I mean, I used my handgun once at Irene last year, once at Homeland. I used it once at Valak, maybe twice at Valak. No, I didn't even use it at Valak. That's right. I did because I need good things.
Yeah, no, I didn't buy green yet.
Because I can get cheap on mine.
Well, you also, I mean,
It was
It ain't gonna get shipped to you the same
it's not like you didn't buy other stuff.
I just bought that helmet only so I could use the GoPro. So I don't even have them up for it. Yeah.
Well, you can borrow
The universal mount is called duct tape.
That's my dad's GoPro.
Or go cheapy and get a 3D printed one.
I really do recommend it. Do you need one? No.
Not as a rifle.
Not as a rifleman, and not even as a designated marksman. Really.
I would argue
It's
otherwise.
the engagement
that's
distance.
very dependent
'Cause-
on the event.
Yeah, because
if
you're using the DMR even at a line clause event, you're at a slightly higher. Well,
unless they change
Nope.
that.
that's the thing I gotta
Marksman's-
find out about.
Marksman's. Last time I checked, marksman's rifles are
1.55.
they're the same. They're not even a separate category. It's just it's
Yeah.
considered a rifle.
All right, and then Third Coast, and they have rules about indoor when it
Yes,
comes
they
to
do.
that. You need to be able to. So I would at least proponent for a DMR. Rifleman, I very feel is optional because that.
Rifleman it is.
Yep,
Because
so
rifleman-
you can still do semi-auto indoors.
and technically your engagement distance is arm's length.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and you have volume of mags.
Do you need one? No. I think it's going to add to the realism of it. I think you will enjoy it more. You'll enjoy your role more.
Yeah.
If you get in that situation, your adrenaline's kicked in, you go, I need my handgun. And you come out, you draw it. Everything feels closer and tighter. We know personal when you have that handgun out. Because on the rifle, when you get your rifle out, you feel very displaced. You're like, okay, cool, I shot that dude from far away, cool. But when you got your handgun out, you're going to be close. You're right next to that dude, and you're going to come in, and you're going to be right on that guy, and either you're going to win or he's going to win. It's one of the two.
Gentleman's challenge.
Yeah. So it adds a lot of fun to it, in my opinion. Really gets that heart rate moving.
Yeah.
The support and sniper need it. You need a sidearm of some kind. And we'll talk about those rules here in a bit.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, when it comes to the rifleman, I've said this before, Bondi, whenever he's using his pistol indoors, he's actively using it. He's got his rifle on a 1-point sling, and when he's going through a doorway that's super tight and he knows there's someone in there, he'll draw out his pistol, he'll tuck himself in and come around that door.
And he's very 50-50 on that.
He's very good at it, especially if you look into a room, sometimes you can see in like a glass and get kind of an idea of where the enemy is. If you've got that idea, you'll get you 9 out of 10 times. I've experienced it.
No.
He's
a
a
really
very
good
good player.
Bondi, you need to come with us to a mill soon. Now that you're 18.
Yeah.
God, it feels old.
I know.
Dude, we were freshmen in high school over 10 years ago.
Shut up.
We're not even old. That's the worst part.
Yeah. Just imagine when you are old.
You know what's
How old
old
is
is me talking
to
to.
get 30.
What's
It's
old
like
is
a fun
remembering college and telling Bondi all the things to stay away from in college.
Yeah, but that was only 2 years ago, so that's alright.
Actually, it was a little more for me.
That was 2.5 years.
I was out of college before you were.
Yeah, I did that 4 years.
Yeah. This one now. The next one here is an optional piece of equipment: grenades, riflemen,
Super handy.
outdoor and milsim. I have the Thunderbees, the tornadoes, and those pea grenades.
Oh, I hate pea grenades.
Dude,
Oh, I freaking hate those.
I'm sorry, but after that Third Coast broken down,
I hate them. That's why
they
I
were
hate them.
amazing. It
Really-
was so fun to
I'm
use
really
those.
mad that I couldn't.
I don't know. People, I think they're great as long as they're used responsibly, but I was experiencing some pretty irresponsible use of them.
Well, why don't you
Yeah.
guys explain those, the pea grenades? I don't know. I'm sure everyone's heard of Thunderbeat grenades.
Yeah, Thunderbeat.
Okay, yeah.
Tornado grenades, but I don't know if everyone's heard about pea grenades.
Yeah, pea grenades are an actual
Incendiary.
thermobaric explosive device that actually has BBs inside them, and you typically the ones that you'll get at the events. You pull the cap off. The cap has a striker on it, like a box of matches, and you hit the top of it, and it lights it. You'll see the fuse ignite, and then you got about 3 seconds to get rid of it. So most people throw them inside a room or through a door or a window, and they actually explode, and there's noise, and the BBs spray
Everywhere.
yeah, and they're very, very effective. If you ever accidentally ignited one,
Get rid of
get rid of it.
Don't even mess around with
Don't
those
even
things.
think that your hand in your nice mechanic gloves is going to be safe.
You're gonna lose a finger if you hold on to it.
Yeah,
And
they're a decent firework.
It's
They
like
really are.
it's like holding on to an M80.
Yeah,
It's a
Your hand.
Yeah.
You'll see the inside of your
yeah, with responsibility, because I believe even Third Coast made an age requirement for
Yes,
if
they
you wanted
did.
to purchase a grenade pack.
Yep.
You get like 6,
You probably be 21 and over.
I believe. 21 if not 18, because I believe they allowed a few younger players also up to 16. I think.
But like what I was saying though, I saw a lot of irresponsible use of them, like rolling them underneath, like towards a player, like really close, and like it's like something you throw near people, but not directly at them.
It's something used to clear a hallway or a
Right.
room, or if there's like sewage system that's in play, and there's someone in there, toss it in there. Because you're not going to get them with the BBs, because they're
No.
probably going to be a ways away.
Yeah.
But damn if that sound doesn't mess them up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
those things
you,
are
you
loud.
drop down in there and pop up, you got them. It's
Right,
all
yeah.
cool Call of Duty style. You just had your little Call of Duty moment. No one got hurt. Their ears are ringing. Pat them on the back, help them up, and they'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically rule number 1 of don't be a dick.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
With
also, on the other hand, when you're on the receiving end, don't try to throw them back at the enemy.
No.
Once it's lit, don't touch it. Run away from it.
If hardcover is an available thing as part
Dive.
of the gameplay, go to hardcover. If not, probably just take it and deal with it. It's all an honor system, and it's all
Yeah.
part of the experience. If you want the enemy to respect your grenades, respect theirs.
Yeah.
It's major. It can be a problem. But one safety thing I was going to say about it is a Thunderbee alone is 80 decibels when it comes to how loud it is. And if you don't know what decibels are, you can look it up on Google, because I'm not going to explain it. That's loud. Yeah, and that's just 80 decibels in a little explosive compression. An actual gunshot is only about 120. So you're pretty darn close. And when you get into a closed environment, it rings off all the walls and reverberates on itself, sounding even louder than it actually is.
Stairwells at the
It's
end.
not as loud as some of those tag grenades.
Yeah.
Those are really loud, but it's loud enough where you'll hear it in the woods if someone tosses one.
Yeah. And the key with those things is also with events, the area of effect. With Thunderbees, unless you put BBs in them, and they don't typically work even if you put BBs in them, organizers will sometimes give an area of effect where it's like, if you throw this grenade, anybody within 10 feet of that grenade exploding will be considered dead. I advise looking for staff to help you determine who's dead. The honor system can be a little wary because not all players respect Thunder Bees, even if they have been addressed in the rules and regulations. But they do. Thunder Bees do have a purpose even if they don't have a kill effect. Any little niche you can get on your enemy to distract them and make them not focus on the task at hand.
They are a very good distraction.
Yeah, that's why they're called a distraction device.
Even an empty Thunderbee shell. I've done this. I did this so many times at our CQB games.
Empty being there's no core.
Yeah, there's no core. It's just a shell.
Shell that's used. Yeah, it's not.
It's ruptured and it's inert. And what I would do is I'd pick one of those up and I'd carry it around with me. And when I know there's one or two enemies in a room, I will yell at the top of my lungs, "Grenade!" Fling that thing in there and charge in while they're trying to duck away because
they're going to see it in turn.
They're going to see it and be like, "That's a grenade. I don't want to be next to that."
Or they'll be following it with their eyes and go, "That's a Thunderbee. Wait a minute, there's no core."
And by that time,
Ethan's already halfway in the room and their buddy's dead.
Yeah. There are seconds in determining, just like what Kyle said when it came to the pistols.
Oh yeah.
You have seconds to determine whether or not you need to take the shot.
Oh, not even.
Yeah.
I mean, you
have
the amount of time between you seeing that Thunderbee and then recognizing it's inert and then reacquiring that doorway that you've been watching, that's a second.
Yeah.
Maybe a second and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So, and by that point, Ethan's already in the room. And he's had that same amount of time to, okay, there's two of you, one's here, one's there. And while he's seeing that other one in the peripheral, he's already drawing up on that 1st one. So by the time they both realize it's inert,
there's already a second person in the room.
Ethan's already recognized there's two threats, and he's looking right at one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That only takes another half second to draw up and fire, and another half second to turn and fire at the other. That's the same amount of time it takes you to recognize that's a Thunderbee, the Thunderbee is inert. Oh shit, what's coming through the doorway?
Yeah.
You're dead.
And really good is to get a whole team stacked up on that. That way, it's not just one person trying to clear that room. You got multiple people who are going to come in and they're going to say, "Okay, here's my sector, here's my sector, here's my sector," and all of them are in the room within 2 seconds, and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
A couple quick notes just on the rifleman is medic. The medic role is always a rifleman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless it's Battlefield.
They'll usually
always.
If the event doesn't already have predetermined wraps, or Third Coast likes to use the tourniquets, the mock tourniquets,
the Milson West.
Oh, Third Coast did too.
Yeah, those ones are really.
That's why I borrowed your other.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is the Milson West tourniquet.
And the Milson West tourniquets.
Did you look at your there?
No, I saw it.
Okay, I was going to say I haven't seen that in a while.
If they're not predetermined, they'll usually hand out ace bandages or just
white
cloth
that
has been ripped up. Usually, 3-inch by 2 feet?
Yeah.
Is usually the typical dimensions. So some events will also ask you if you want. We won't provide them, but they're playable, so you can make your own. Ace bandages are exactly what that is. You'll be carrying those. There's usually, if there is a limit, it's usually 2. But for medics, usually you can carry as many as you want. I would advise no more than 5 because that's just more stuff to carry. And you're going to be fumbling and all that extra garbage. Some people also use duct tape. White duct tape is usually another one. I know I prefer it. I think it's the smarter choice.
It's not going to come off as easily.
It'll
stick to itself.
It'll stick to it.
And when you get dirt on it, it's not going to stick. I like cloth. Tying off cloth a lot better, personally.
It's easier to see, and you can just keep it tied and slip, especially the elastic stuff.
Oh, yeah, you can just stretch it, slip it on.
Ace bandage are great.
That's why I really like
they're
those
cheap.
Those Third Coast and the Milson West tourniquets.
Yeah,
just that Velcro on that. Yeah, it's really good. And then the second note about medics, staying close to the squad leader.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever's in charge of your specific squad, you should be the closest to because your job is valued higher than that of a rifleman's because you're not as expendable, if that's the proper term.
Yeah, you are.
You can't revive yourself.
Making it sound less morbid.
No, you're not. You're not expendable. The riflemen are expendable. The saw is not. Even really the marksman.
The marksman.
Even the marksman. I mean, he's a long range rifleman. And
But you can operate without it.
Yeah, you can operate.
It's very possible.
You can't operate, especially in like the modern build sim where it's semi-auto only for riflemen and not. And the support weapons are actually have a significant role now. And you need that role.
Yeah.
And like at Irene, when we had to go through that shanty town,
Yeah.
I had Tucker stick with me until we got you guys.
Yeah, I got
Archer up into.
I got on the roof and stayed way back.
And Tucker, I stuck Tucker with you guys because I needed your 249 because your 249 was going to be important for helping us move up in that shanty town, and you had a very good. You were out of the sky at that point.
Yeah.
So that was. He needs to be adaptable. He needs to know his role. That he's not a rifleman first and a medic second. He's a medic first, and he needs to forget that he has a rifle most of the time.
Yeah. And now the second note for riflemen, grenadiers, that if you want to call it that, people with grenade launchers and 203s. A grenade launcher in some form, whether it's actually attached to your rifle,
mounted or
separate in its own individual launcher. I vote 2 shells minimum. One for failure, one for backup.
Yeah, you're gonna want as many as you're willing to carry. Really, I mean, I guess it's the same with having a sidearm magazine. It's better to have it than not need it.
Yeah.
Especially since they are prone to issues with the O-rings if you don't maintain them.
Yeah. Just like any gas pistol, it requires re-oiling, maintenance, cleaning.
Yeah, so I would say 3, probably 3 minimum. You got 1 and then 2 on you because you're going to use them for your Nerf rockets as well. So if you got a game with a lot of vehicles, you're going to want more shells. So you don't have to worry about constantly. Okay, crap vehicles here. I forgot to refill my shells. Give me a couple minutes.
Right.
No, I forgot to refill the shell, but I got 2 more that are good. Drop the Nerf rocket in, and vehicle's knocked out. Quick, flip in that new one, drop another rocket in, close it, and you're good to go for the next. Flip it on safe, and you're good to go for the next time you need it.
Yeah.
And then you have 2 shells in your backpack or your dump pouch or wherever it is you're going to keep them.
And they're super handy also for if the rules allow for a kill radius. They're super helpful for buildings.
Yeah,
because you can launch into that second floor window from a ways off.
Yeah, wow.
Take out that sniper.
It's harassing you. It's a great resource for assaulting them.
Yeah.
If you got people that are good with them and they're familiar with them and they know how it works and their range, lob it in through that window or through the doorway as you guys are coming up on it. Because then it just cleared that whole entryway, and now you and boom, now you have your foothold because half your team's in.
Yeah. So. Actually, when we were the second to last, not last outdoor game we had this year over at the Haas Family Field for West Michigan, one of the teams that routinely is coming there now, they told us about their MilSim events that they go to, and that they actually tested out their 203, and they showed it there too. You can stick a Enola Gay smoke grenade in the tube of a 203, and you can get about 50 feet.
More, if you can get a little bit more too, depending on how you arc it.
Yeah, depending on how you arc it, what gas you put into it as well. So my advice would be, if you're on a field that has buildings with windows that are openable or just permanently fixed open, and you can't actually throw something, you could pop it, and you needed to pop smoke, you could pop the smoke grenade inside your 203 shell and fire that off and get decent distance if you don't have the arms throw overhead.
Absolutely. But you just need a little more accuracy with it.
Thank you for watching the second part of the second episode of the Cerberus podcast. Be sure to check out the conclusion in part 3 of this series. If you enjoyed this video, please check out the other videos on this channel. If you want to learn more about our team, check out Cerberus Tactical Airsoft on Facebook. Now get out there and play.